Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Drone Wars. Here in front of us we can see the board in its current state. The Federation is definitely being pushed back. As you can see, the area in the bottom there, territory has basically just become a straight line. And over on the top, their territory has been subdivided into 3 different regions with 2 individual just planets by themselves. And then there's just that area on the top with just a few planets. Now we're going to see in this episode if the Federation is able to push the Pirate Empire back. If not, then we're going to see the Pirate Empire continue to push forward and make the Federation even smaller. So without further ado, we're just going to jump in. Alright, so there's quite a bit to go over here. So of course on the Federation side, the Federation decided not to go into any battles for the most part. They've been kind of just avoiding trying to go into the battles. They've been mostly focusing on just building up their industry, moving stuff around. That's all they've really been doing, is just slowly expanding and upgrading their stuff. But the pirates, they have also decided to go ahead and do a little bit of expansion of their own. So you can see they've decided to kind of just cut this even further. Right now they've just been upgrading some things. But of course their next action, or actually this is their final action in this turn, they're going to actually have a battle. This is probably going to be the only battle for today. But the Pirate Empire is going to go take on the Federation head on right here. So this world was formerly taken over by the pirates, but then the Federation took it. So they're just moving the fleet over here to this planet. Alright, here we are. We're on Pertam, over at the Plateaus, and we're going to see this battle play out. This is going to be a really interesting battle because we have 2 massive fleets fighting against each other. Right here we can see we have the pirate fleet. They've got their Mjolnir in the middle, they've got all their battleships around, they've got lots of frigates up front, and they're bringing their fighters out back here. All the way over here we can see the Federation fleet that is defending. You can see they've got a carrier, a cruiser, they've got some frigates, some corvettes, and some fighters. They are definitely outmatched in this battle, but they might be able to do some damage. So we're just going to go ahead and begin the battle here, and we're going to see if the pirates get a total victory here, or if they end up taking some losses. You can see all these ships are immediately going into action here. Those fighters are slowly moving in as well. The heavy gravity is not too great for them, but they're definitely going to try doing whatever they can. You can see there is some missiles being exchanged here. And of course, point defenses are going into effect here. All these fighters are moving in. On the opposite side, we should have something kind of similar. Of course, there are a lot of missiles coming in, and there's a lot of point defenses trying to take them out before they hit the carrier. You can see some of those missiles are going through. And the carrier is definitely taking a lot of hits. And these fighters are slowly trying to move in, but the heavier gravity here makes it very difficult for them to move. You can see some of these other corvettes are moving in here. They can start taking some shots, but they are going to try to slow down the advance of the other fighters, as well as be a major distraction for all the heavier weaponry off in the distance there. There's more missiles being fired, and of course these fighters are now beginning to launch all of their missiles. So the corvette's job is just to try to take down as many of these fighters as possible to make all this, all these missiles stop. All of the other ships out here are doing whatever they can. You can see they're launching their own missiles. And of course the carrier out back over here, it's firing its own cannons trying to take out the larger ships as they're moving in. A lot of these fighters are sitting back here. I think they're playing more of a defensive role in case any of the other ships get too close to the carrier. A lot of these larger ships are moving in. As you can see, these corvettes are being swarmed by all these missiles, but they're holding on as best they can. Their armor can definitely hold against all that. And of course, these other battleships are actually moving in. They are starting to take shots from the other ships. Both of these battleships appear to be closing the distance here. Most of their weapons are aimed towards the ships up there, but they're very clearly targeting the carrier. Of course, they're launching their own missiles, which is a very big problem. Of course, there's some more missiles coming in as well. So that carrier is just trying to avoid the torpedoes there. Those torpedoes end up hitting the back. A lot of these other ships are very quickly being overwhelmed by all the missiles. And of course the railgun fire coming from that super carrier that's moving in. Yeah, a lot of these ships are definitely starting to move in over here. Trying to close the distance very quickly. You can see there is a lot of defensive missiles being fired over there and cannons. A lot of this cannon fire is starting to connect. So some of these battleships might get taken out if a shot is lucky enough. But of course this carrier is currently being targeted by almost everything, so I don't know if it's going to be able to last the whole battle here. All the other ships are trying to provide a bit of a defensive screen, I guess. Actually, there were some other ships up here, I'm not sure if they're out yet. Yeah, it seems like the frigate here is one of the only ships trying to be on the defense here, but it is definitely being targeted by that super carrier. You can see there is another frigate down there, it's trying to do whatever it can. Yeah, I think I see the other cruiser off in the distance. It's trying to stay back to use its missiles at very long range. And of course, the carrier is now being targeted by the enemy supercarrier. I don't know how much longer it's going to last, but it's definitely going to try doing whatever it can. In the meantime, all the other ships out here are trying their best to deal with the enemy ships. If they can just take out enough thrusters on this battleship, it might fall down. And it appears that a Corvette is going after it from behind, though I don't know how much longer that'll last. It seems this Corvette over here is taking a little bit too much damage, so it is falling very quickly. Oh, there goes that Corvette. The Federation has taken a lot of losses here. But of course the Pirate Empire might start taking its own losses, as there's a battleship falling very quickly here. That battleship has definitely hit the ground pretty hard there, but it might try getting back up. Oh, it's not lost yet. Though it has taken some pretty big damage to the back there. Because the shields are down, the other ships will have an easier time trying to take it out. You can see out here that these two carriers are very up close and personal with each other. Yeah, the shields on that super carrier are still holding, while the carrier here is just taking a lot of damage. This ship is taking a lot of damage. You can see the entire chunks of air coming off. And of course, these frigates are still trying to fight that battleship down there. Of course, they're trying to deal with the fighters that are back here as well. See, the entire back of the ship is basically just done for. So that frigate's going down. And this other frigate back here is also trying to do whatever it can. It appears that it's also lost its main hydrogen tank. It's doing everything it can to stay alive here. Battleship isn't looking too great here. I think both of the frigates are going down, and that battleship is barely even able to stay upright. In the meantime, the big battle that's going on up here. Surprisingly, both ships are still airborne. The cruiser back there is providing supporting fire with missiles and railgun. It appears both of these ships are just uncomfortably close to each other, so they're not very, they're not very keen on moving, I guess. Either that or their AI broke. It does seem like the shields on the supercarrier have gone down, so it is going to start taking hits from all these cannons. And of course, I think the carrier has recognized this, so it is starting to move a bit now. Of course, there are some missiles coming in from the support unit in the back. All the missiles from that carrier are an excellent distraction for those railguns. Of course, it needs to do whatever damage it can with those cannons, since the target's already really close. Oh, there's some missiles coming in. That carrier definitely doesn't have to point defense for that. Oh, it's definitely going down now. Yeah, that's a lot of damage. I don't think it's going to be able to fly after that. Of course, it's not going to go down without a fight, so it's going to fire all of its cannons, trying to at least do some more damage to the enemy super carrier here. Well, this ship is just being torn to pieces on the way down. Since the carrier is down, that means the only functional unit left would be that cruiser in the distance, which is still trying to do whatever it can about all those missiles. Of course, there's a lot of cannon fire. Yep, there it goes. Seems like all the battleships here are still alive. So now the main target will be that cruiser off in the back. Which is surprisingly still trying to do as much damage as it can. Pretty soon it's going to start being targeted by all of the enemy ships in the distance. It is definitely still making an effort to fight that super carrier. Slowly doing damage. That cruiser is actually proven to be pretty deadly as it is taking out those thrusters. That super carrier is going to start firing back. And of course it seems like all the other ships are now starting to target it as well. Oh, there's a lot of missiles coming in. The front of it has definitely taken some damage. Seems like most of these weapons are not targeting one of the battleships that is moving in. This battleship has taken a lot of damage. But if that cruiser pulls its cards just right, it might actually be able to take down this ship. Well, the game did crash, so we're just going to see what we missed out on here. It looks like one of the frigates is actually going down. Yeah, so with the loss of that frigate, that means that at least some ships have been taken out. Or no, that wasn't a frigate, that was the carrier. It looks like a frigate from a distance. Because that ship has been taken out. And over here we can still see that the actual frigates are still in this battle. Yeah, there are definitely still fighters out here doing whatever they can. And of course all these frigates are in the back, mainly targeting that debris. However, that cruiser in the back is doing whatever it can to take out that supercarrier. And yeah, the supercarrier has now switched targets, going after that, is definitely going after that cruiser. There's definitely a lot of hits coming in. If you can keep all those railguns on its target, it might actually be able to pull off some damage. Oh, there are some missiles being fired from the supercarrier. That's not good. This sound was shot down, but when there's one, there's probably a lot more as well. Yep, there's definitely a lot of missiles coming in. Let's hope that the point defense on this can actually pull off taking out some of them. But I think this cruiser is about to be completely annihilated. Some of those cannon shells are connecting, which is not great. And here comes all the missiles. Damage all across the cruiser. Surprisingly, it survived. Also, the entire front of it has been detached. This thing is barely even flying at this point. And of course the front of it is where all those missiles were, so the back is mainly just energy weapons. Oh yeah, and because of the fact it's taken so much damage, it's lost its braking thrust, so it's just going forward now. And all the defensive missiles are on the front too, so yeah, that's gonna crash into the ground down there. And of course this has lost a lot of its gyro as well. Seems like there are some fighters down there. Yep, there are definitely some fighters down there. They're still alive and fighting. So of course this cruiser is falling and it's not going to be able to do much here. With the fall of this cruiser, that should be the last ship on the Federation side. So then we just look to see if the Pirate Empire actually had any losses in this battle. Yep, there it goes. Alright, so let's see if the Pirate Empire had any major losses in this battle. They still have 3 active battleships. They've got their 2 frigates, their super carrier. I would say all of their frigates are alive in one way or another. This one may be in the ground, but it could still probably fly. It doesn't look all that damaged. And of course, I did see that there were some active fighters around, so yeah, the Pirate Empire hasn't taken any major losses in this battle. And of course, the Federation has just been completely annihilated here. Alright, that brings us to the end of this video. As you can see, the Pirate Empire has continued to expand, and of course the Federation is losing ground. However, they are trying to build up or come up with some kind of strategy to at least, expand out a little bit. It looks like they are trying to at least reconnect these planets here with this area down here. So that'll be interesting if they're able to successfully pull that off. But in the meantime, it looks like the pirates are still winning this battle. Alright, I guess that's it. If you guys are interested in Season 2, the Discord is down in the description. Take care and have a great day.